Friends, hello, glad you're here. It's Wednesday. We have made it to Wednesday, and I think a lot of us at this point do not have nails on our fingertips because we have been biting them down so much. But let's talk about some stocks here that we've been following, kind of recap where we are with this week so far. And obviously things are, kind of just haggard and jagged right now. So first things first, if you're wondering why the market is trash towards the end of the day here, pretty much wrapping it up, Jerome Powell came out and he pretty much did what we thought he was going to do, which what he always does is deliver devastating news. The market took it, and things that were already struggling are struggling even more at this point. Like we said, we were expecting this. I mean, it's not like what was going to be the good news here. There was no good news, which leads me to FRC, First Republic Bank here. I told people yesterday that, I would be careful buying in right now because I think it's still going to fall to a $10 mark. And of course, people, there's everybody's different places with this right now, and it's completely understandable. I still think we're going to a $10 mark. Honestly, at this point, I think we could even see it fall below $10. Obviously, we're having some nice rebounds here, so if you're shorting the stock during the day, you're making some nice little bundles of cash here. My entry point right now is at $10. Like I said, I have put in a buy order at $10. So once it hits $10, I will automatically have my foot in this game right now. But talking more about the stock, there's not a lot of new situation that's going on with it from what I talked about yesterday. As far as we know, the bank is not being bought out. That is not what they're looking for at this moment. I mean, personally, I think the stock is going to survive. I think the company is obviously talking about they don't want to be bought out. I mean, what company wants to be bought out? One minute they're doing really well, and then the next minute, we've got to sell everything here. But I do think for a little bit of X amount of time here, the playground is going to be around this $15 below $20 mark here for a little bit of time, because like I've been preaching here, there's no good news. I mean, we knew there was not going to be any good news from Jerome Powell here. There's so many things against the market right now in growth stocks and stocks, bank stocks, that are already struggling. I mean, what good can come from any of this? We've got the bank falling apart, that whole sector. We've got Russia and China meeting up, which is also affecting the market right now. There's a lot of things, and now rates will continue to spike. Probably the rest of the week, it's going to be bad, which leads me to believe that we're going to see more damage First Republic here. So friends, that's where I'm at with this right now. I really don't want to go over a candlestick chart because I really, like I said, I think we're going to see this for a while. We're going to start off at 13, we're going to go to 16, we're going to start off at 14, we're going to go to 17, we're going to go to 12, and we're going to go to 15. Possibly tomorrow we're going to go to 10, and then we're going to go to 15, and we're just going to see this heavy back and forth here for a little while. But obviously this has become quite the short stock right now, so if you're looking to short something, this stock is really it right now. But also it could be damaging it a little bit as well because it's being traded around so much. We keep falling. I mean, look here, each day we're falling more and more. We're closing at a weaker and weaker number, and we're only into Wednesday at this point right now with the stock. So by Friday, this bad boy could be sitting at an $8 mark. It really could. So friends, I'm bullish that this stock will recover. I am bullish, but I think it's going to take more damage, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time to really get it up and going. And hey, this is the whole sector. It's not like it's just, obviously this stock has taken the biggest effect, but there's still a lot more bank stocks that have not really recovered from where they were 2 weeks ago. The next little stock I want to talk about here is Mullen. Now, obviously I have preached and talked about Mullen so much, I don't want to talk about too much. Obviously, they are waiting for this extension to do what it's supposed to do. They received an extension to get their stock to a dollar bid price. If they do not get it to $1 by the end of May, Mullen can possibly take one more extension, or more than likely they will take a reverse split, which no one wants to be a part of here. The latest news that's breaking here with Mullen, it's bad news. Mullen is dealing with a $3 million lawsuit with attorney fees, the whole shebang. I'll put it all here so you can read it, but it's just more devastating news for the stock on top of what's going on with everything in the market, the banking system. It's just, everything is tore apart right now. Everything is just tore apart. And with this news coming out today, on top of Jerome Powell's conversation here, the stock went just today from right under 15 cent to trying to get to a 10-cent range right now. So obviously there'll be a rebound here. I think the stock's going to play around this 10 cent to 18 cent here, back and forth, until they decide here in May what they're going to do. Obviously, I'm hoping this thing can hit $1. I'm hoping Mullen can release some kind of news to where it can crush expectations of what it's supposed to do here. I'm not like trying to be bearish on it. I'm just saying, like, this is the black and white picture of what's going on. I say these things, friends, because I know I try to tell people in the nicest way possible, just be careful who you're watching on YouTube. There's a reason why you see stock people on YouTube appear and then disappear, because they lie to people. They lie to people, and they're not honest with people. And the last thing I want to do is come on here and lie and say, like, hey, Mullen's going to be just fine. You should put X amount of money into it. I think that's a very dangerous move. Now, obviously, you're allowed to do what you want to do, but you need to know the facts with what's going on here. Am I hopeful, and do I believe in Mullen? Absolutely. This is a real company with real vehicles, and they're actually trying to do something here. And like every other EV company, guess what? They're having a hard time getting started. There's no EV company right now that has not dealt with issues. There's EV companies right now that have like somewhat established, and they're still having massive issues with production and getting their vehicles out on the road. It's just the way it is. I mean, even Tesla in the beginning almost, went bankrupt and didn't make it. But obviously a lot of these EV companies, they don't have Elon Musk either, so that's a whole nother conversation. And friends, just one more thing. I've talked about this stock a little bit. Don't forget about Key Bank here. This is another bank that took a little bit of damage here with all this crisis. A stock that has a really nice dividend, that's been having okay numbers. You're probably not going to really hear about it because it's just kind of a boring bank stock. But it is something, if you're looking for a cheap dividend stock right now in a bank stock, definitely look at this. It'll probably go to $10. I mean, let's be honest. With what's happening today, tomorrow probably will be devastating more. Let's be honest. Friday, the market could rebound a little bit. Today, we had mass sell-off. Tomorrow we'll probably have a little bit of sell-off. Friday, hopefully, we'll rebound. And then Monday, we'll just start over from picking up the ashes of what's happened this week. That's just usually what happens when Mr. Powell talks, and this is what we're left with, just a huge mess. So friends, I wish all of you the best of luck. I will talk to you soon, friends. Bye.